Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to go over some key points out of Zion Oil and Gas's Form 10Q. Before we do, just kind of go over what exactly a 10Q is, what it's used for, and then as always, we'll break down the charts to show you what Zion Oil and Gas is looking like as far as from a technical standpoint. So 10Q form is basically an unaudited financial statement that provides a continuing view of the company's financial position during the year. This report must be filed for each of the first 3 fiscal quarters of the company's fiscal year. So just kind of giving you a snapshot of what they're looking like financially, and they have some other information in there as well. Alright guys, so looking at the Form 10Q, so I'm going to start off on page 7, and I'll go through 7 and 8, maybe all the way through 9 and 10, then we'll kind of take a look at the price action here, let you know what I think is going to happen coming into next week. Because although I didn't post anything about it Friday, I looked at it Friday morning and I thought to myself, oh, this is going to come down, because I saw the spike in price for pretty much no apparent reason, and I was like, yep, it's coming down to the 6s. So I'll kind of tell you what I think is going to happen next week for us. So if you look here, as it says, this is unaudited and it's measured in the thousands. So this is just kind of a comparison from last year to this year. It shows 2022 here in the bold is 2023. So basically you look at that number, so like if you see net loss of 4,473, you just multiply that by 1,000 and that's 447,300. okay, or if you see numbers such as let's see, 401. So 401 times 1,000 is 40,100. Okay, so we're gonna kind of, I'm not gonna go through too much of the whole thing here. I wanted to kind of go down here and kind of point my attention to page 8 and take a look at the numbers from 2021 all the way to now. As you see here, 4,683, which would be basically 4.6 million, and then in 2022 5.7 million, and all the way going through December, you see this number drops off pretty significant from your total, your cash and cash equivalents. It continuously goes down and down and down, and then all the way down here to 518, which basically is 518,000. And then if you look at restricted cash, included fixed and short-term bank deposits. So I'm assuming this is just other restricted accounts that they have total, even that. So you see a little jump here in June of 2022, and then by December, I mean, pretty much just cut in half, and now same thing here. So basically from 2021, or we could just even look from December 2022. So December 2022 to now, total, okay, your total number, you've seen a drop in basically about 100%. And if I'm reading this correctly, and someone correct me if I'm wrong, but their total cash and cash equivalents, or if I'm calculating this correctly, you times this by 1,000, you get basically 1.6 million, or 1.5 million. And I'm not sure if that's 100% accurate or not. So let me know if you guys, if you've calculated the same thing here, and you're kind of getting the the same thing that I am, because that could be primarily the holdup of their approval on their license is funding. Okay, so we're going to come down here and read on it. It says the nature of operations, basis of presentation, and going concern. Nature of operations. Zion Oil and Gas is an oil and gas exploration company with a history of 23 years of oil and gas exploration. As of June 30th, 2023, the company has no revenues from its oil and gas operations. Zion maintains its corporate headquarters in Dallas, Texas, blah, 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 blah. On January 24, 2020, Zion incorporated a wholly owned subsidiary, Zion Drilling, a Delaware corporation, for the purpose of owning a drilling rig related to equipment and spare parts, and on January 31st, 2020, Zion incorporated another wholly owned subsidiary, Zion Drilling Services, to act as a contractor providing such drilling services when Zion is not using the rig for its own exploration activities. Zion Drilling Services may contract with other operators in Israel to provide a drilling service and market rates in effect. And so I want to go down here, exploration rights and activities. The new license 428 was initially awarded on December 3rd, 2020 with a 6-month term and extended several times before expiring on February 1st, 2023. I think everyone knows about that. Zion Oil and Gas filed an amendment application with the Israel Ministry of Energy for a new exploration license on January 24th, 2023, covering the same area as its license 428, which expired on February 1st. However, its original application to replace the license of 428 was filed on May 11, 2022, and revised application was filed again in August of 29th of 2022. So it's almost been a year since basically that was filed and amended. Prior to the filing of the last quarterly report, we received initial administration approval from the various departments within the Ministry of Energy, which puts us in an excellent position to obtain final approval of our license. We continue our exploration focus here based on our studies, as it appears to possess the key geological ingredients of an active petroleum system with significant exploration potential. We have finalized the technical and operational preparations for our re-entry of the MJ01 well. Okay, so my opinion here, if you got everything you need, you got everything done, you've been approved in several departments, however, you still don't fully have it, I'm assuming that funding is the major issue here. So in my opinion, you can kind of prepare to see another campaign possibly of, their warrant program, their unit program, whatever. I would kind of assume that they're going to come out and probably post something about that and try to raise more money, for Zion Oil and Gas here. And my thing is, and this is not uncommon for them to not say much. I know apparently John Brown released some type of Bible verse last week or whatever. I didn't get the email. They usually get all their emails, and for some reason I didn't get that one. But I think for us, I know that they won't give you much online if you kind of reach out to them, but I still do it every now and again, especially like in a time like now of like I'm reading this and saying, okay, well, what's the holdup? And I don't think anyone's out of line of going, call or email or bugging the crap out of them saying, you can't tell us what the holdup is. Are you planning on doing some type of additional funding campaign? Like, what's the major holdup here? You're saying you got everything in place operational, so what's the holdup? And I did reach out to the Ministry of Energy, and they didn't give me a whole lot of information. They basically kind of just bounced me around of, hey, contact this person, contact that person. But the last step is basically just to call them, and we're in such a stretched, differentiated time zone that I can try to do that. I'm just not sure if I'll be able to get through or if I'll have time, because whenever it is, for example, if it's 9 a.m. over here, and it might be like 1 or 2 a.m. over there. So just kind of planning out exactly when I have to try to call them if I'm going to go that route. But anywho, let's take a look really quickly at, I'm not going to get into fully the chart breakdown, because that's pretty much the same as what we've seen. So here's the 1 year chart, what we're looking at right here. And basically, if you're familiar with the OTC stocks, okay, this used to show, if you see the 5 year, you can see kind of a little bit more, a lot more volatile, a lot more volume on, the moves up and down and things of that nature. But if you look as of late, especially on the year to date, see how these are really like blocky, right? So this resembles stocks such as like hemp, where things might be moving, but your volume is not, you really don't have a whole lot of volume or momentum of one way or the other, I guess. So what we'd like to see is it make it more, liney as opposed to blocky. And that's, obviously that's going to be coming if they ever do release some type of, news regarding the company. But we're currently, we closed at about 7 cents. We fell into the 6s and then popped our head right back up above 7. I think that with next week by Friday, if we don't have any type of news, I think that we fall right back down to where we were. And I've been saying this for a while, is I think we're going to go back to see 4.5 cents. If again we in my opinion, if we go into next week and nothing at all, like crickets, I think that we do come back down and start to retest at 4.5 cents. Maybe not by the end of next week, but I think that we start getting close to that. And of course, if they come out and announce that they have the license extension, then I think that can start kind of getting some upward momentum. However, even if they come out and say something about a unit program, I don't think that's going to be anything bullish. I think that'll probably drop it down again, because people are still going to be like, well, what the heck? You still haven't told us, fully what the plan is when you're starting or whatnot. Because at this point, you don't even know what's going on. You don't know if people are there. Everything's just sitting there. They say they have everything prepared, but surely you don't have people, going out there, especially if they're running low on cash, coming out there and working, all day long if there's nothing to work on. But maybe they're just doing some type of upkeep. I have no clue at this point. So anyway, let me know your comments below, guys. Other than that, we'll catch you in the next one.